Yeah.
Just for that.
People aren't here though. Okay, I think we are recording, yeah. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Carolyn Smith. This will be my last meeting here. I am moving on to other things. This is our Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. So happy New Year's to everyone. Glad to see you here. And let's start our meeting. Call to order. Do we have any statements or just cause and or consideration of a request to participate remotely? If applicable, we have any?
We do have member Jessica Kramer is participating via teleconference as an ADA request and therefore is qualified for the quorum and for voting.
Thank you so much. Okay. Agenda item number 3, we need to vote on December meeting minutes. So any questions, comments, concerns about the December meeting minutes? No, going. Can I get a motion?
Oh, I'm going to accept those if they're not.
Awesome. Can I get a second?
I second.
Awesome. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand if I can see.
I don't see
Jessica.
There's Jessica.
Jessica, oh, perfect.
Thank you.
Opposed?
Bluetooth.
Any abstentions? See any? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Item number 4, non-agenda comment. Members of the public may address a county issue not elsewhere on this agenda. Each speaker may take up to 2 minutes. Speakers may be limited to less time if several speakers have requested to speak on the same issue. Please note this meeting is recorded and publicly available. Therefore, we recommend not sharing personal information. The Committee for Persons with Disabilities is prohibited by the Brown Act from acting on or voting on any issue that is not already on the agenda unless deemed to be urgent. Do we have any non-agenda public comments? Going. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fast. All right, now we get to the good part. Agenda number 5 is our Brown Act teleconferencing options, who I believe Randall is going to lead us.
Thank you. I hope you don't mind. I'm staying off camera. I am not feeling very well. I was hoping to see you guys in person, but you probably do not want to have me sneezing and coughing all over you. So, um, I wanted to come and make sure you guys had a clear understanding of some changes to the Brown Act. These went into effect in January, and they're pretty substantial. Um, Not all of the changes apply to your group, so I'm not going to cover those pieces. There's a lot that affects just Board of Supervisors, um, so I won't cover that. But I wanted to make sure you have a clear understanding and chance to answer any questions so that you guys can know how to go move going forward. And just being aware, I've given Todd a very detailed memo on this with the chart and checklist so that if he needs to support you guys in this, and Katie should have that as well. First of all, go ahead. Is there a question?
A little bit louder, please, Randall.
Okay. So the standard teleconferencing rule is unchanged, and that is where you call in from a hotel in Tahoe because you're skiing over the weekend. I know it's probably not the best example, but um, you have to list the hotel location on the agenda, and the public can show up in your hotel room. Like nobody likes doing that, but that rule has been around for a long time and it's still there. I'm just letting you know that is the standard teleconferencing rule, and that is the one that's a bit inflexible, and that's why most people don't use it. But what we did get some clarification on, which is really helpful, and one of your members is taking advantage of the first one, is we got some clarification from the Attorney General a year and a half ago that ADA accommodations don't conflict with the obligations under the Brown Act, and that is a reasonable accommodation under the ADA is to ask for teleconferencing through the interactive process that goes through there. That was clarified in the law in this statute that was approved, which was good. The original version of this bill did not have it, and I think all of the public agencies said, "Hey, you need to include this," and the legislature did. So that is a great aspect to this. So if you qualify for uh, under the ADA and you receive a reasonable accommodation, you are counted as in person, and that's important for some of the other rules that we're going to talk about. So it's as though you're there. You count toward quorum, you count as you're in person. You should be on audio and visual technology unless the disability would cause you a need to only participate by audio. Um, so please be aware. And if you do receive this accommodation, you have to disclose the presence of anyone who's an adult with you in the room, anyone 18 years or older. So just make sure those rules are followed. Now, what the legislature did was took all these there's some other rules and other ways of teleconferencing and lumped them together and said, you know what, whatever one of these other options you use, you have to follow certain rules. And so if you do any of the following, and that's where we have the just cause I heard you mention at the top of the agenda, that request, I'm going to go over another one that's potentially could be available to you. Um, you have to make sure the public has two-way audio visual. You're doing that today. We have, the meetings, the public can participate by Zoom. The agenda must show how the public can participate through the audio visual. If the service gets disrupted, you have to pause the meeting. You can't require comments from the public to be made prior to the meeting. Uh, Anybody who's online must have reasonable time to make a public comment, as well as those in person. Um, if someone is participating telephonically, that now has to be in the minutes. So that's a new thing. If you weren't doing that already, please make sure that's noted in the minutes. Uh, so that's and then same with the 18 years or older disclosure. Basically anybody who's participating um, telephonically should disclose the presence of anyone 18 years or over. And if someone is doing this, all votes must be by roll call. So anytime anyone's participating on your board telephonically, make sure you do votes by roll call. So those are the general rules. Um, Now we have what are these other options? So the first thing is, if you remember COVID, we had the opportunities to participate 100% remote. That is in the law. It is for an actual emergency. What changed with this latest bill was before it could only be a statewide emergency. Now, if there is a locally declared emergency, we can go 100% remote. And findings must be made every 45 days. It's a process. So I hope we never have to use this one because we don't want to have an emergency, but it is still there. It's codified in the law. And it is nice that we now have the flexibility between local and as well as statewide emergencies.
Randall, one moment, Lori Hansel here. Could you please repeat what you just said about 5 days?
45 days. So when there's an emergency,
Definitely are missing just little details.
So update every 45 days.
If there's a local emergency.
Can I just hear Randall? Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
yeah, if there is an emergency, either a local or statewide, and you go to 100% remote, you have to make findings every 45 days that's appropriate. There's specific things you have to do. Again, I'm not going to go into those details because cross our fingers, we're not going to have an emergency anytime soon. So,
Where is this all written down at, Randall?
yeah, I have Todd and Katie have the memo. If they want to share it with you, they can. Obviously the clerk of the board team has it. All the advisory attorneys that support all of our boards and commissions, they have this memo. It's in the Brown Act. So a lot of places for you to look at this.
I can send that out. Randall, do you have, because a lot of times I think that it's helpful to post valuable information. I know that it's attorney-client privileged. Is there an issue with posting this on the CPD webpage?
Yeah, it's an internal document, so you can email it to the group, but you can't put it on your website.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so the next option for the non-standard teleconferencing is just cause. And I heard, like I said, I heard you guys mention at the top of the meeting. That is an opportunity for someone who has one of the listed reasons to participate remotely, telephonically, for that meeting. It's on a meeting by meeting basis. What we used to have was just cause and emergency circumstances. They were very similar. So the legislature realized, I think rightly, that the distinction was not that different. And so they got rid of emergency circumstances, which is great. So it's just cause. You don't have to vote anymore because if you were doing emergency circumstances, um, oh yeah, Todd's showing you the memo. Um, if you were doing emergency circumstances, the group had to vote to make sure you could do it. And that was, I think we all felt was a little ridiculous. So the state got rid of that. It's just cause. The rules are the same. You can only do it for groups that meet once a month or less. You can only do it twice a year. So every person who's doing it has to keep track, make sure that you're not exceeding that limit. And it has to be one of the defined reasons. And they basically took the reasons for emergency circumstances, the reasons for just cause, put it into one list and added a new one for military service. So if you have a child care or caregiving issue of an immediate family member, child, parent, grandparent, grandchild, sibling, domestic partner, that counts. You're sick, you have a contagious illness, you have a physical or mental need that's not addressed by an ADA accommodation, uh, traveling on behalf of the county, you have an immunocompromised child, parent, grandchild, sibling, etc. Um, you have a physical or family emergency that prevents you attending, or there's military service. So any of those reasons, you can let the chair know, let Todd know ahead of time as soon as you know. That can be 5 minutes before the meeting if that happens. Obviously, this includes emergencies. It could be a day or two before. Just as soon as you know that you're going to be participating remotely, please let us know because we still need a quorum in person. And that's goes back to the important piece I mentioned at the top of the meeting was the ADA accommodation. If someone else is participating because of an ADA accommodation, they are counted as in person when you're trying to figure out if you have a quorum under just cause. If somebody else was calling in for just cause, um, does that make sense? I want to make sure that's an important clarification. No questions? Good. Um, so again,
The only question
each of because the this particular commission meets once a month, um, each of you has up to 2 times to use this option.
You had made a comment that you said if service is disrupted, the meeting must be paused. Is that just for if it's disrupted here, or is if it's disrupted for the person that is joining online? So if
For the
they
county,
come offline, which
it's
doesn't
yeah, it's not for if their internet goes out, we have no control over that. That's on them.
correct.
That's if the county service providing the Zoom link or the Teams or whatever service they're using, if that goes out and you can't broadcast the meeting, that then you have to pause the meeting until you get that service reestablished.
No, but I was also saying, so if that can, excuse me. Okay, thanks. If the person is part of our quorum and they make our quorum and they're a voting member, if the service goes out, do we wait until their service comes back on? You know, right?
If in that
So-
case, yeah, if someone is calling in because of an ADA accommodation and you need that for quorum, if you lose them, you've lost quorum. So that's another reason to stop the meeting.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's not just that you're getting ready to vote, it's that you have to have quorum to
All the
continue
time.
the meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Anytime you lose quorum, if 2 of you walk out of the meeting today in the room, you've lost quorum, right? So you have to pause the meeting until you come back.
Great, thank you.
And so the last topic is a new non-standard teleconferencing option, and this was developed in this bill um, for what we're calling subsidiary bodies of the main, local agency. So for the Board of Supervisors, it's all the advisory bodies in the county that advise them with some caveats. This is but they can't have any decision-making authority. So if any of you have ever gone the land use route through the county, you know we have a planning commission and they can make decisions. So for example, our planning commission would not be subject to this option because they do make decisions that are appealable to the board. But for you and many other groups in the county that only provide advice to the board and to the county, this is a potential option for you. There are some other exceptions that you'll see in this memo that, you know, if the group dealt with elections, budget, police oversight, privacy, access to library materials, taxes, or spending, those groups would also be ineligible. So this is an option. It is a trial. I guess we're in a trial period because it technically the bill says it will expire at the end of 2029, but they can always extend it. Which they did, for example, with Just Cause. Just Cause was supposed to expire at the end of 2025, and they extended it again. So, in this, you have to seek permission of the Board of Supervisors to use it. And this would mean you could go 100% remote, provided that there is a physical meeting room where the public can still come and a member of county staff is there. You have to ask permission of the board, and the board has to make findings every 6 months that you can continue to use this option. And that means it's appropriate for the circumstances of your group. Teleconference meetings would enhance public participation. The public would be aware of the teleconferencing option, and teleconferencing would enhance participation on the group. So you think you might get more volunteers on the group. And then if the board approves it, then your group must vote on whether you want to do it, and then you can start using it. Again, all those same rules we talked about before. If the meeting, if the technology stops, you have to pause the meeting. You have to participate through audio and video unless there's a physical or mental condition, you can't do it. And again, there still has to be a physical location. So that's different than the declared emergency where we don't even have to provide a room. So this is something that there will be a meeting. It is not yet scheduled with the Board of Supervisors for all groups that want to consider this and make the request. We have the clerk of the board has put out a document to help with the technology piece. So Todd hopefully has access to that to make sure we're running the meetings as smoothly as possible when you have this kind of hybrid meeting, as well as a list of all the groups who are potentially could ask the board. And we also have a template memo if you're going to make a request to the Board of Supervisors, what information they need to consider this. So do you have any questions? This is a maybe because again, you have to go to the board and the board has to approve it.
Randall,
Yep.
I have a question. If if you are granted the ability to teleconference, is it then from then on you must be teleconferencing, or would it be possible to have um, a certain meetings where the committee would come in person?
No, absolutely. It would become your choice. Maybe one of you just wants to be in person, and so you do. It just gives anybody on the board for any group that receives this permission, any of you can teleconference in instead of showing up in person at your choice.
So,
You could also
Randall,
vote and say, well, next meeting, it's really important we all show up. Can everybody come and see if, they do it? But this gives you that option.
so Randall, going forward then, if we had for instance, a very tight or busy season, for instance, we met the day before Thanksgiving, for instance. And for future, would it be, just for conversation here, okay then to agree that we'd all teleconference on a day like that, because it would make it easier for people that were traveling or doing other things, and then continue to meet in person? Is that a logical scenario?
Yeah. Again, you still have to get that permission from the board first that you think this would be a helpful for your group, not just because of the holiday.
Got it. Oh, understand. Thank you.
And then every 6 months, you just update the board on, what the.
Right. And so we're going to have two board meetings scheduled this year. So one in the spring, one in the fall, 6 months apart to make those requests. I have heard rumors that the legislature is going to relook at that because that 6 month is a really short time period, but we haven't seen anything yet. So for now, that's the plan. And we'll see what the board does. I have no idea. The board has been made aware of this, but I don't know if they think this is a great idea or not. We'll see.
Laura Hansel here. I definitely want to put in a plug for this policy. I think it would help this committee a lot. It would, it's already, I think, for several members, very difficult to get here in person at times. Sometimes that is last minute, sometimes you're not sure, but that can really save the day, just having a teleconferencing option, make it possible to participate when you otherwise would make yourself sick or getting there. It could be a safety issue for the public, quite frankly. You shouldn't be driving perhaps or risking that. Yeah, perhaps you have a lot of stitches in your arm. But yeah, I think this will be really good for this committee, especially. So I hope we move forward with it and make a request and definitely keep us in the loop on that process. And I think we'd love to see the template memo even as soon as possible, just to get this in our heads and have people thinking about it.
Well, it wouldn't hurt
Do
if we wanted
you already have that, Todd? The
Yeah.
template memo?
it to the board of supervisors.
I don't believe I do.
Well,
You
we
or
could
no? Sorry.
theoretically, if we got approval, we could say, I don't think we want to eliminate in-person meetings
No.
necessarily altogether. But we could say once a quarter, we're gonna be in person, the other times we're gonna be online, and that way, it's not every month that you're having to, people going through what they go through to get here. You're doing that once a quarter, which is, I think, more manageable, just as an
Yeah.
example.
And to Sue's point about like holidays, for instance, that's absolutely relevant to this committee. Because if you have additional demands physically, mentally, you're gonna be struggling more and need more bandwidth to be able to participate again. So maybe I make it to this meeting the day before Thanksgiving. Now I don't make it to Thanksgiving. Like that's a
Yeah.
definite possibility
Yeah.
for people on this committee and people interested in this work. And those supporting it, because compassion fatigue is real.
Yes,
All right.
that's very exciting, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of something we've been hoping for, talking about for quite some time, that why
Flexibility.
couldn't we get an accommodation as a committee, for the.
Yeah, I think we've asked that quite a few times.
Yeah.
And you can see the empty chairs here.
Yeah.
That would have been, that would
Yeah,
have
how many
been,
more? And
yeah.
Well, I think it could open up more applications to do committee work, not just for this committee, but other ones. Because maybe it's not disability related, maybe you have a job, care duties, whatever, that it's really hard to make it across town or whatever you need to do. So, plus there's other benefits, including environmental and other that benefit all of us and save money.
If people participate,
Yep,
if people get on.
yes,
Still do that.
yep.
All right, sir, do you have anything else for us?
Just two last things with this bill. One is that now all legislative body members are to receive a copy of the Brown Act. So if you've never received a copy, we'll make sure you have one. Just let Todd know and we'll get it to you. That's now a requirement. Number two, there was a clarification in the law that if someone is participating online and they're disruptive, you can also and their participation in the meeting, like just like you would in person. I don't think that's a problem for your group, but the board of supervisors, that happens unfortunately with some regularity. We already do it that way, but it was nice that the state cleared that up for us. So that is the update I have for you on all things Brown Act.
What's the verbiage of saying we're ending your participation online? What's the legal verbiage? So it's not looking at.
and meetings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good question.
there's a guide I can that the CSAC put out, the group, the county group, and Todd, you already have that on disruptive behavior.
I don't know that I have that.
Okay, I'll send it to you. It was actually based on our model, which was really nice to see the San Diego highlighted. Um, but basically, the first thing is you give the person a warning saying you're being disruptive, you're making it hard to conduct the meeting. Remember, it's not the important thing is it's not about what they're saying; it's the how that they're being disruptive, and it's making it difficult to run the meeting. And then after the first warning, um, you ask them to leave. If it's Zoom, whoever's controlling the Zoom, you can kick them out. If it's in person, you ask them to leave.
That is another benefit.
That's kind language, right?
So
We
you can
don't
also look at
have-
the Board of Supervisors has a very detailed rule on this, and you can follow their rule as well. It's very helpful.
This is
Thank you.
Jessica, and I know that our committee is already going to be sensitive to this, and we have never had a disruptive member, but whenever I hear disruptive behavior, I feel it's really important to highlight that as long as the disruptive behavior is not due to a disability, I think people need to be considered, extra considered when their behavior is different, that they may need to be accommodated. That's all. Thank you.
Excellent point, Jessica. Just like an example that I think maybe obvious, perhaps someone has Tourette's syndrome. And so they might be using a tone and language that we wouldn't normally hear in public meetings, or actually.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great point that we all need to keep in mind.
Of course.
And do you have advice on if we can't tell if that's a reason? How do we handle that, Randall?
You can always one thing you can always do before ending their participation is just take a break. Say everybody, let's take 5 minutes. See if everybody cool down, reset. I would always err on the side of allowing the person to participate. You'll see if you watch board meetings, they let a lot get slide through. They could call out for being disruptive because we want to encourage public participation, and people can be. It's not like you can't be rude or say things crudely, but at some point it's disruptive. At some point, when you're off topic all the time, if you're threatening, those kind of things, it's not helpful to the meeting.
This is super helpful. Absolutely.
Other than that, anybody have any questions? Anyone? Go
Well,
on.
I don't know if you're sticking around for the entirety of this meeting, Randall, but I do have one question Brown Act related, so maybe this would be a time to bring it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know there's exceptions to the Brown Act. For instance, maybe somebody makes a public comment, and we're not allowed to address it, but in the case of emergency is an exception, for example. What constitutes an emergency?
Well, that's a true emergency when you can't. I don't know. I mean, that's like, hey, there was an earthquake an hour ago. Things are down. Can we allocate? We need to get some money allocated. Those are things that the board would likely deal with, not you. If there's a true emergency, most likely your meeting would just be canceled and deal with it later. But those are emergencies are rare. Think I've only seen it once in my 17 years as a government attorney where we've had to invoke that for the Brown Act.
So I do have one question. So, we've had it in the past where, for example, our agenda for a non-agenda comment where we disclose, you're welcome to speak, but we cannot act on it. We have had, members of the community that have brought something forward, but they're seeking, they're seeking redress, like immediate redress from the board. So, I think what our final solution is direct them towards their board of supervisor. But there are some instances where, somebody's really literally going to be homeless, or somebody is in some sort of, their own internal emergency. Because we are prohibited by the Brown Act to engage in dialogue with them. What's that vernacular? What's that phrase that we should say without, being, pushing them aside, saying, hey, we can't say anything, but we want you to talk to your board of supervisor. Like, is that
you can have a brief dialogue to point them to resources the county has. That is appropriate because you don't have any authority to help them in any, except to point them to resources. So that is fine. Um, so you can have a brief dialogue, but otherwise you should talk to them after the meeting, have Todd talk to them, or tell them to call the CAO's office, call the board of supervisors. That's all appropriate. Yeah.
Okay,
This-
brief dialogue, like, hey, talk to your board supervisor, this is what we could do.
And well, Todd and I had a discussion about this just because this does come up so much. And so Brendan, I wish he was here because at the last meeting, somebody came up with public comment and he was jumping out of his skin, almost wanting to help this person.
Yeah.
And he's saying like, we got to do something. And I'm trying to explain, we can't.
Yeah.
But so it's something that we need to understand more, but to have a list of resources ready so that we kind of have a reference list ourselves of where we can send people. Because personally, and I think a lot of us might have experienced this, that if people can't help you, that's one thing, it's how that's conveyed.
Yeah.
But just saying like, we can't help you, goodbye, we're not talking about it,
Yeah.
is not helpful. So at least being able to say, try these resources.
Well, my
Yeah,
suggestion
that's
is,
totally fine. You can ask clarifying questions to make sure you understand what they're asking for. You can say thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Here's what we know about resources, or I can't help you today, but we're gonna have someone call you. Can we get your contact info and so they can give you the resources? That's all fine because you're not acting, you're just assisting.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely am looking for some clarity as well. Are you finished? I don't want to interrupt you, Carolyn.
Stu was trying to make a comment.
Oh, please
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
thanks. I'm wondering if we could put, a resource sheet up on, or maybe we already have it on our website. And it would be generic. It would be very broad because we cannot ever anticipate what people are gonna walk in and need. Huge needs out there, but like 211, the food banks, the housing authority, general disability related resources. Could we do that?
So
That's what I
just work with Todd,
consider.
work with Todd on and what you guys want to see on your website would be helpful for the public. Yes, that is something you can do.
Todd, Katie. No, it would be something that would be evolving. I see it.
Yeah.
As we find out about more resources and
Yes, keep a list.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something we can discuss on how to manage it, but it's also something that maybe there would be a committee, a subcommittee that does this.
Yeah. Just keep a living document.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some clarity. Is now good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to give a hypothetical. Somebody comes on the meeting, they're having an urgent housing crisis. And they, even though we encourage people not to put personal information for their safety, if that person wanted to put an email address in because they're looking for a resource, is there a legal reason why somebody from the committee would be unable to respond, not as a member of the committee, but independently if they were a specialty in that particular type of resource? If they were a specialist, so if someone came on, they were having an urgent situation, they made a public agenda comment similar to the last meeting, and they put their email address in, is there any reason why a committee member could would not want to respond to that person if they had knowledge of resources that person was looking for?
There's no reason you couldn't respond.
Okay, thank you.
We actually did that last time for the gentleman, and Todd had reached out to me and I called him. So I know that's already a thing. So, obviously take your, if you have the resources, don't wait for somebody else to reach out to the individual, by all means.
And do you
Yeah.
have to be clear that you're not calling on behalf of the committee, or can you respond to a call on behalf of the committee?
Yes.
Yes.
Outside of this. Yes, no, you have to be very clear that you're not calling on behalf of the committee, that you're calling on behalf of you yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
I would probably just say, like, I'm acting individually, not on behalf of the committee, but I
Yeah.
heard your issue and I have some resources.
Same way if you're sending out an email to somebody that you want to help, you can't say, you know, I'm this person on this committee.
Right.
It's got to be
Right.
from you. And then, you know, you do you.
Okay, I have one last legal question, but I don't know if now's the time to ask it because it's a little bit different, but it relates to being a member of the committee.
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. So if we are on committee business and somebody comes and reports something to us, are we a mandatory reporter?
Great question.
Oh,
Great question.
It's a really good question.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we are.
that's beyond my expertise. So that why don't you get the details to Todd and we can get the right people to talk to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You know, Randall, and this would be one thing, and we might discuss this another time, but I would say that we often do get legal questions come up in the moment, and I think we're not sure what to do. Pause that issue and reach out when time provides perhaps, but whatever you might be able to say on that front.
Just follow up with us for that because he just said he's not sure. So
Not on this issue, but just generally as we're conducting business, legal questions are coming up.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
about jurisdiction, maybe about our authority.
yeah, who do we direct that to?
To me, I'm your assigned counsel. So either the chair can call me or give the questions to Todd, and Todd will call me, and we can work through those issues between meetings. That's fine.
Thank you. We need you. Like, we really know, this has been like, this conversation is so helpful. I wish I'd had it about 13 months ago.
That's not a dig on you, Todd.
No, that's on me. No,
Not-
that's
not
completely
at all.
on me. But I hope we continue the dialogue too, just because this is going to continue, that
Yeah.
things are coming up. And I think it's so helpful that to raise our level of professionalism and how we're able to serve the community and how people understand the role.
Randall, one other question. When is has the next orientation been planned, the date for the next BCC orientation?
I've heard rumors it's going to be in April, but I haven't got a date yet from the clerk board's team. I'll find out. But all our resources are available online for you. If you ever need to refresh, I can send that link.
Sounds good. It's not recorded, is it? There isn't a recording.
Yes, they're recorded videos. I
Oh,
think.
okay. Then
Actually, hang on. Give me 5 seconds. I'll pull up the.
okay.
2001.
Now, I'm sure other people aren't necessarily like this, but personally, I want every resource I can get my hands on
Yeah.
to be able to learn and
Yes,
connect the dots.
the whole thing is on video on YouTube.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
I don't
if
recall.
you'll
We do
send
it. We do
me
it every 6 months. I don't know if we record both or just one every year, but we do keep a video.
if
For
you'll
you.
send me the link, then I can share that with because it is good. We do have some new members on, and I do know that you all do a great job of the orientation as well.
This is last year, so we'll not have the current Brown Act stuff that I just went over with you. I will be updating that for the next one, but I haven't done that yet.
That sounds fine.
So maybe part and parcel of future businesses that the folks that are not here that are new need to listen to this.
Yeah, it should be a requirement.
Yeah.
It's required to take the training before you start doing any work. So anytime you have a new person, they either need to attend the meeting or watch the videos.
Oh, it's required before they start work?
Yep. This was a new change about 2 years ago by the board, that now every new member on a board or commission has to attend one of the trainings before they start.
Oh, we will definitely take that link, sir.
Okay. Required homework. Okay, awesome. Randall, I appreciate your time. I know that we'll be keeping in touch with you and thanks for your partnership.
And showing up when you don't feel well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Of course. Great questions. I appreciate the interaction.
Absolutely. Anybody going, Tom, Katie?
We do have
Okay.
member Michelle Krug has dialed in as well.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Okay, all right, Randall, thank you very much. We're gonna move on to, I know, but I just want, so that he doesn't feel like he has to stay. Randall, thanks for your time.
I would just like to add on, I think what we also are missing is an orientation to this particular committee. So when there's a broad orientation, Brown Act, blah, 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 good. And then I would like to integrate one of us, because I'm sure Todd doesn't want to volunteer to do this, but he would be good at it. And that is reviewing what we actually do.
Yes.
And the bylaws and the obligations and the Robert's rules and the
Yeah, that was a large purpose for this meeting, so
Okay.
we'll continue, but really the newest members aren't here,
Yeah.
so.
and mileage form, I mean, just
All that
a
stuff.
general.
That literally was what Laura and myself and Todd and Katie, that literally was supposed to be what this was, but
No, we're on the same page.
yeah, we're all track. Yeah.
Totally agree.
I know I'm preaching to the choir.
All right, so let's move forward. So do we have Nick? Is Nick online somewhere?
I believe he's going to be able to dial in after 4.
After 4, got it. We will move him around to 4 p.m. All right. Now comes the fun part. We are having our officer elections. This is the vote.
No, so, sorry. I mean, because we did review the bylaws perhaps for this meeting, so it's very clear that we nominate the January meeting and vote at the February meeting. But I know, so this is the January meeting, so we're nominating. We did that at the last meeting, but the bylaws specifically say January nominations.
And I think my gut is it's okay to take that exception, and I agree with you, because these whoever here, well,
But that's on them.
Designing.
I am.
And so that.
Then it makes me active.
Then it's like, okay, so what are we gonna do? We need a chair. So, I mean, I'm good either way. I think,
We could do one of two things. I can tamp the the resignation to February so that you guys don't have to deal with that. I'll come through on February. And we could still have that so that whoever takes over for February, then I'll be gone. If that solves that
we
issue.
could still have an election in February without you.
Whatever
And
works.
Laura would be the vice chair acting.
Yep.
And she could conduct the meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would feel better holding off on the vote because I would love for people to be here for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna help leadership if
If
everybody
everybody
feels
feels
like,
like,
yeah.
just move forward. But
Yeah.
Yep.
If,
All right.
you know.
Which net is that? Yeah, say that again.
This-
Well, and if.
Sorry.
They aren't here next time,
Or whoever. Yeah.
Then they have to wait a
then,
year.
if we don't have, then we have to move forward. We
Yeah.
can't
Yes.
We try.
And I also think that one of the newer individuals wanted to be part of.
Considered, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Which-
this, oh, sorry. I'm trying to find the right time to speak, so why don't you guys know?
Go ahead, Jessica. Sorry.
Thank you so much. I spent some time thinking about it, and I feel like with my improved health, after my surgery, I would like to also put my name forward for secretary.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yay.
Perfect.
Yay.
We're not gonna have Sue doing it, so.
I know
So,
Sue wanted a break, and I know it's not a popular position, but I would appreciate the challenge, and I think I could represent the position well.
So I think one of the new folks also wanted secretary slot too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think they have it up there, Carol.
Yeah.
I think,
Well,
see,
no,
Yeah, there's 3 now. That's great.
They just.
Oh, wait,
They
we have other people who really want the secretary position?
Well, this isn't even the conversation we can have because the other two folks aren't here. So if you put your name out there, fantastic, leave it there. And then everybody will, democracy will work next go around and there you go. So if you're putting your hat in, then leave your hat in the ring and
Yeah.
let the majority rule,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
So
Well, I'll
Rob,
think about that, but I guess I could pull my nomination if we have somebody who's excited about it. I just didn't want to see the position go unfilled. So if I want to pull my hat away in the next meeting, I'll be able to do that.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
no worries. So as it stands, just for edification, for chair, can you put that back for me? For chair, Laura Jeanette Brennan, vice chair Laura Brennan Sue, secretary Brennan, Julie, and Jessica. So that's just for the recording edification, but I think we have to vote to maybe table this.
Yeah, I would make a motion to table this to
Yeah.
our February meeting.
Yeah.
And hopefully having more members present, but unfortunately not.
Yeah. All right, we have to
Do you want
do,
to second?
yes, thank you.
I second.
Well, wait. Before we table, I just want to clarify. My understanding at the end of last meeting was that we had nominated Jeanette as chair, but because there was some confusion, somebody had rescinded their vote for Laura as chair.
There's
But-
no vote.
Yeah.
It's just nominations. So there's no vote. That's just essentially people are throwing their ring in the hat, their hat in the ring.
No,
I was
I
nominated,
that.
seconded, it
thought-
went through, but I was saying, thank you all, but I would love to stay in my role as vice chair, and I nominated Jeanette for chair.
And
And my recollection of what happened.
And that's true. And this whole dialogue is actually what you're going to present to all the board members, and you're going to plead your case to get that slot. So this conversation, not that it doesn't matter because it does, but it's for the whole board to decide. So that's when it's, hey, if you want to be chair, you plead your case. If you want to be vice chair, if you want to be secretary, you plead your case. So somebody taking somebody off or moving the hats around, that's really for the board and each individual when it's that time. If that makes sense.
I
Yeah,
hear you, but I'm just
Oh,
clarifying because I thought at the end of the nominating process, not the voting process, but I thought at the end of the nominating process, there was no longer a nomination for Laura as chair.
No, that's
That's fine with me though, if it is. I just want clear.
that's not how it is. It's just you can nominate everybody if you want to and have all 6, 7, 8. That's just the nomination. So when it goes through the second round really tailors what those 3 positions are going to look like, and then you go and vote. Right?
Yes,
This is
I
just
understand. But at the end of last meeting, I don't believe there was a nomination for Laura as chair, but you're suggesting to take the nomination for a vote, and I'm asking for clarity on the nominations.
Oh, no, we're not doing a nomination for a vote for nomination. We're doing a vote to table this until next meeting so that the folks that aren't here can put their ring in the hat and present to the board what they want, what they need, and listen to the others do that. So all I'm doing is tabling this because at least one of the people that are interested in being on the executive staff, they're not here.
Can I interject, Jessica?
I understand. The clarification I'm looking for is that you read the slate of nominations, and I'm thinking there may be an error, but are we going to table it and readdress nominations in the next meeting, or are we going to move for a vote in the next meeting?
Because we did
But
3
you
rounds.
haven't from the floor.
We can take them from the floor. Start over here of just, we should
The
clarify.
the meeting is recorded, so if there's any question about the accuracy of the minutes, definitely feel free to review the meeting recording. I do see member Michelle Krug with her hand up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes, we
me?
can hear you.
Thank
Yes.
you. I just was, um, what I was hearing, Jessica, trying to make sure is that anybody can be nominated, voted upon at the next meeting if this is tabled. That's what it's like. We will take nominations from the floor. This was just giving you an idea who's thinking what, but ultimately anybody can be added at the next meeting to any of those three spots, and then the vote will be taken from those that are added for those three positions. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Michelle, thank you so much. I would say added or removed
thank you.
because I had a curiosity about whether our current nomination list was accurate based on the completion of last month's meeting. So my interest would be in the next meeting, we can add or delete anyone.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
The person themselves would have to delete them. The person themselves will delete themselves, or it just gets voted on.
Great.
that's.
Thank you,
get to
Michelle.
plead your case and state your interest, yeah. All right. Everybody good? Good.
We need to vote.
Yeah, thank you very much. So all those in favor to table our nominations, vote for our executive staff, we have to do roll call. So Jeanette,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
myself, yes.
Yes.
Jessica, thank you.
Yes.
Michelle,
I don't think Michelle can vote.
Yes.
Can she?
actually, I don't think she can. Well, it's, yeah, okay. All those opposed? Any abstains? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, agenda item number 8. Committee business or appointment of at-large members. All right, I think that really was going to the gist of, Todd, was this you?
Yes. So we have the committee's at-large member, the seat 11 expired as of January 9th. So then what I sent out were all the applications that have been received and are active for the Committee for Persons with Disabilities. I did try to de-identify the applications. So I sent those out to everyone, and you have the opportunity to go through and do a vote. You may ask the current at-large member uh, to leave the room so that since her seat is the seat that's in question.
Is appropriate? Yeah.
Just right on out.
Oh, no.
One at large?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, so the other side of it is that regardless, the at-large member would continue in her seat until a replacement is appointed by the committee. So that being said, we do have a committee, a board, so it has to be accepted by the Board of Supervisors, and that there is a committee, a board meeting next week, and then again on the 10th. We would miss next week's docketing schedule, so the earliest would be the 10th of February.
That's okay.
So
You want me
you
to
want to
leave?
close your ears? Do you want to?
I'll leave.
Okay.
You want to?
I mean, yeah, then you can have a private
Okay,
conversation.
we'll do it that way.
Yeah.
You pause
So we're gonna pause the meeting for a minute. Dun, dun, dun.
More than a minute.
Did I hear that recording paused?
No, if you stop the recording, it makes it into two separate.
Well, just give us a minute and talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, I can get the door from me, that would.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Should I take a long?
No, you're good.
No.
We're just talking about these.
So many times here, but I'll be here.
That fruitiness, maybe number 4.
Oh, it was, so I missed it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably you're
Yeah.
on that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I wanted to touch you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just had 2 questions.
well, so we have to do it sort of procedurally.
Good. What's the, it was under public comment.
Yeah, public comment was at the front. And I've never had it where it's this way,
Hey,
so,
Rick.
hey, Todd.
Yes.
Todd. The gentleman that's here came after the public comment section, but wants to make a public comment. Can you give me some guidance on that?
We need to go ahead and handle the business of the committee. And then at the end, if we have time, we can open back up for public comment. Unless his comment has something to do with something on the agenda.
Exactly.
Sorry. So long as what you're gonna ask is not on the agenda, then you can ask at the end. Does that work? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Todd, this is,
So-
I'm sorry, am I interrupting somebody?
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's just harder to hear in the big room because you don't all have microphones. So that's why I'm having a harder time queuing in. So thanks for the graciousness. Todd, can we have some clarity on whether Michelle joined ADA and or some other way in which she has a vote, or if she is not able to vote?
She has not stated how she is participating, under which grounds she's participating since the meeting had started before she had gone.
I had
Yeah.
some trouble getting on. That's true. So I had some trouble getting on, but I would use one of the, I don't remember what 2 choices were, but I'm sick. I obviously don't want anyone else sick. And I didn't want to go out.
Yeah,
It's one of your just cause you can get.
Yeah. yeah,
From what I understand.
So,
It
but
sounds
does that
like
mean for-
ADA.
vote?
Me,
I mean, this is what
if
it's saying,
she's
that
sick,
we
it
don't-
sounds like ADA to me.
Is it for sickness?
Ask that question.
But a temporary sickness is not. The language is saying.
Yeah, that's okay.
Different than disability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Impactful.
Yeah. right. So it's gotta impact, like you said, major life functions, and that could totally be the case, but, no, I don't think we have any, honestly, I don't have an answer to that, so I'll defer to Todd.
Sorry, Todd.
I can't
Perfect
advise.
example of though, just what I was saying.
I cannot advise a member on
So-
which action.
So my understanding is, because it wasn't asked during, that time frame, that this time you are able to attend, but there's no vote. Is that? Chair?
That shouldn't,
I think,
that should not be. If somebody couldn't get on for technical reasons, that should not be that you can't vote for the whole meeting when you're a qualified member.
but then you would have had to have
It's
voted
like
for all
everybody
of
else
the.
walked in late.
I don't think that's the question. I think the question is, if you are participating remotely because for a just cause, as you said, you're sick and don't want to make everybody else sick, which
Thank you.
we all appreciate.
Yeah.
That does not mean you're included as part of the quorum. And my question is, if you're not part of the quorum, are you eligible to vote?
Great.
We have allowed for people in the past for just absolutely they get to vote. And there's nothing that says that you can't be included as part of the quorum.
Yeah,
Just
just went over
legal-
that with Randall.
Yeah, so, okay, so we have to kind of make a decision. So it's my understanding, and I could be wrong, which is, it's acceptable. But that because you came later, and didn't participate in the first vote that we had, it sort of, doesn't mean you're not a valuable portion to us, but you just don't have voting rights, at this meeting. That's all that means.
I tell you that at city council meetings, when someone has remotely participated and they came late for whatever
Okay,
reason,
so let's
they-
do this. Michelle, do you have a vote for the at-large position?
I think I should have a vote, yes.
No, I'm
But
saying,
also,
do you have a candidate to vote for? Yes?
have we decided in our discussion that we're going to do the vote today? Because I was going to suggest that we have a conversation about the candidates and do the vote next month, just like we're doing with the election.
Hold on, baby.
I would
Yeah,
like
this
to
is
have
the
a
at-large,
This is for at large. So essentially what we're doing is Sue has stepped out of the room. She has expired, the seat. What we're doing right now is we're saying, do you all want to vote Sue back in and essentially re-energize the time in her at large seat? This is not about the executive staff. This is Sue. So all we're asking is if you're not voting for Sue to reclaim her seat, because that's what we have to do you have somebody else in mind to fill her seat, and then she will no longer be in the seat and she'll be done?
So this is Jessica. I would like to have a conversation. I was absolutely blown away by the amount and the quality of the applicants that we have, and I would like to have a conversation. And
That's why this is on the agenda. That's what,
I'm sorry, let me just finish. And then also,
that's why
I
we
would,
have all the.
sorry, I
Sorry.
can't really hear you.
So Laura here, so all I'm saying is that this is an agenda item. It has been an agenda item. We all received all the applications. This is the time to discuss it.
Yes, great. So I wasn't sure if we were going to move straight to a vote or have a discussion. And then second, I would like to make sure that we are including anyone that has a right to vote and not making a mistake on that.
So go ahead with your discussion.
All right, Michelle, who did you want to nominate for Sue's at-large seat?
That's not how I'm seeing the discussion. I would like us to discuss each of the candidates
Me too.
and the pros and cons. It's not an issue of deciding for Sue's seat, and it actually doesn't belong to a person. It's our seat on this committee. And this has nothing to do with being against Sue. This has to do with us doing our due diligence and fairness in looking at each of the candidates, which is why I was going to honestly say I'd like to see us do this next month, because it can be tabled in the same way as the election. But I think that there's pros and cons. I was not able to access this until very recently for the meeting. And I do think that it deserved a discussion of each of the candidates and what value they would bring and what value they would bring. That's all.
I second that.
I'm not sure that I'm totally talking about cons of candidates, for instance, at a public meeting. I do think we should all very carefully review each application. I've done that. We all should have done that in preparation for this meeting. I think it's great
You know
to
what?
talk about
Hold
them,
on.
but I
I'm
do.
sorry, but we all should have when some of us have disability accommodations and we're given a lot of information today. I would like to hold off on the should haves because I don't appreciate blaming language about what we should be doing when some of us have just gotten the
I'm
information.
talking about procedure. I'm not talking about anything personal. So what I'm saying is I am very happy to have a discussion. However, I'm saying I feel uncomfortable about talking about each candidate, pros and cons in a public meeting. I think we can have a more general conversation about all the candidates and what value, but it's just
maybe
my
pros,
opinion.
yeah,
And
I
it's
respect
not about
your,
I'm talking about
Hold on, Jessica. She's still talking. Okay, so let's do this.
Table this. Fine.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and make a motion to table this discussion until our last meeting so that all members can have had a careful review of all applications and we can have an in-depth discussion where everybody feels like they can participate.
Can I get a second?
second.
Second that.
Okay, roll call. All, Jessica,
Yes.
Michelle. Michelle?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, we just lost.
Can you hear me?
Oh wait, we're still
Can
hearing
you
you.
hear
We're not
me?
seeing you.
Todd is still on. It's still recording.
Okay.
Maybe it's on. Yes.
We just can't see you.
Michelle, what was your,
My vote was
Can
a
you-
yes. I just,
Okay.
I just for the record, I was absolutely in no condition to reading earlier. I was sparking a very high fever. So not everybody can do it right at the moment. Thank you, Jess.
You're welcome.
I'll vote yes. Grudgingly.
Laura hands all vote yes.
I vote no. Any abstains? Okay, this passes, so we'll take this.
Soon she comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, so she's.
Okay. Right. That
From that.
No, that's a good idea.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna move to meeting locations. Meeting locations. Todd, give change of meeting locations, or is this just kind of wrapped up into the, hey, we can also do Zoom and then talk about that next time as well? Todd, you're on mute. Todd?
Your committee will meet for the most part. Your committee will meet in room 302, and then we'll meet in 306A for those weeks where the 302 is not available. And that really, it's about four meetings out of the year that 302 is not available.
Todd, for clarity, is 306A the room we're in right now?
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to be very clear that the sound quality is making this meeting very, very stressful for me. So I don't know what we need to do to fix that, but if we want people to be able to participate on Zoom, we're going to have to consider the fact that the sound quality in this room is very challenging. Thank you.
Perhaps the solution to this is that if we're given approval by the Board of Supervisors to be remote, then any room that had to be anything other than 302 and any other meetings we decide upon will be considered remote.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Great
All right,
suggestion.
meeting structure. So we've got meeting structure. So,
That's a question to Todd. Is there any other option besides 306 if 302 is not available? Maybe the answer is no, but is there any other option?
We have looked at all the options.
Do we have any
Okay.
microphone capabilities to add in this room? Possibly, like, that's something that sits on the table I'm thinking of.
yeah, like the one we had the other one.
Usually there's like a conference call.
That's what I mean. Like we could just leave that on.
Yeah.
So maybe all we need to do is add a conference call speaker in the room if this room is able, because in fairness, it's hard to hear the people on the calls. So it's Jessica and Michelle, is very difficult to hear you two. So maybe at least on our end, we can add a conference microphone. So we'll put that in the notes.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed.
Okay,
Sorry. One thing I've noticed from doing Zoom through the viral season, I think this is my second year, maybe third, I'm not sure. But I've noticed that when the sound quality is excellent, that the meetings run very smooth and tensions are low and stress response is low. But when the volume becomes challenging, I notice that stress response gets a little higher and sometimes conflict appears. So I think it's really, really important that we keep the sound quality as excellent as possible.
noted. Thank you. Okay, so for the meeting structure,
This
talked
is
about-
this item is to discuss how to handle the working group
Yeah.
sessions, the workshop sessions, the
The
4
workshop
focus areas.
question. Yeah,
I don't understand.
so what we're trying to do is our 4 focus groups are very meaty and large. So instead of having or discussing at least all 4 within the same scope, or same meeting, that it would be broken down and you would know ahead of time. So you could do your homework and read all that you need to read and come prepared to discuss that. Right. So it's important that structure, we have 4 strategic focus items. Each one will be talked about. Each one, and just remind yourself that even if and when a recommendation does come through, that doesn't end the discussion. That's a recommendation that may come through for any of the 4. So remind yourself that this is an ongoing conversation, and by no means are any of the 4 strategic focus areas going away, even if you come to a recommendation, right? They're just going to expand because the recommendations allow us to expand into things that we need to take a look at, right? So the meeting structure moving forward is going to be where it's going to talk about one of the 4. And then at each meeting, we're going to figure out how far have we gotten to that, and does that, for a future agenda, does that make it so we're going to talk about that same strategic focus in the next meeting, or do we table it, go to the next, talk about it, table it, go to the next? So it's going to be more fluid, but you'll always know which item you're going to need to come prepared for because it's going to be on the agenda. So instead of having all of our focus items listed, it's going to be focus listed.
And I thought last month we did that,
We did. I thought
and
we-
it was a really productive,
Yeah.
meaty conversation.
Yeah.
And I think your point about, we know that for February, we were talking about this, for March, we were talking about this, et cetera, allows everybody to get their head around
Yeah.
the issues and do their homework, and so that we have, you know, as we've discussed before, we're not reinventing wheels, that we know what's already out there and where the gaps are, not,
Right.
and not start talking, ask questions that we should know the answers to.
Right. And if the consensus is, well, this is something we don't know about, that's when you can start telling each other who needs to tell us, who needs to educate, us on this. And then that's when we'll know that this person's coming for transportation, this person's coming for housing, this person's coming for mental health, etc. Right. So it is more in line with, we do our collaborative work here, but you also know ahead of time, you go off and do your individual work within your advocacy lane, within your subject matter expert lane, within all of those, and your job is to come back here. So when you pay attention to the agenda and you're like, oh, it's transportation, I'm all over it. You can come and bring all of your subject matter expertness, and allow really good conversation. And then at the end of that conversation, that's when you decide, is this sufficient that we can next month talk about something else, or we found something so good we're gonna migrate it to the next month. So it's very fluid, but those 4 topics do remain. So no, one is not more important than the other. You're just gonna start distilling the information you're going to find out and then decide what's on the next agenda. So you can be prepared when you come here with all your info, and then that's when the collaboration comes back together. So we all have a responsibility on our own to go out and do our thing and find the info, then come back and share it in collaborative, and then move left or right from there. But so that the meeting structure will no longer kind of list all 4. We know what all 4 are. It'll just delineate what is the specific one we're going to talk about this next meeting.
To add to that, my understanding is that we would focus on one area in advance, so we would all know and be ready, come with questions and ready to have a productive conversation, hopefully. That doesn't mean that if I have been working at something, I go, oh, chair, at the next meeting, I'd love to give a brief update about.
Right.
Then there would also be an opportunity to give that brief update to educate the committee, say, hey, I found out this, you might want to look into it. I'm going to take this action, but keeping people in the loop. But so the majority of the working session is focused on one area, so we can have those in-depth discussions while still moving other things along.
They don't get
shocked.
Yeah, because some people have a passion for agenda item or, focus 2 and focus 4, not 1 and 3. So we're not going to hamstring anybody by doing their individual advocacy. It'll just be more clear that all you got to do is pick up the agenda, see what the target is for that particular month, and then bring all of your awesomeness and be collaborative.
I think I will suggest we know ahead of time what the topic is, because by the time the agenda arrives, it's 1 week before.
Yeah.
It's got enough time to do
Mhm.
work.
Totally agree.
Well, and that's what I was saying. So before that meeting would end, you'd all decide, hey, look, are we gonna, does this flow over to the next one, or is the next one going to be the next strategic focus item? So it's very important that everybody, not everybody's gonna agree, and that's fine, but you have to realize that if it's more than not, then that item will be carried over, and that will be the focus for the next meeting. And then the other focus area will kind of just drop one level down for the meeting after that, right? So that's the best way to do it.
I have a point of privilege-ish. It's not exactly a point of privilege because it's not the ambient lighting or the room, but it is the quality of the conversation when it comes to my ability to participate fairly. So if you guys were in a room where you each had a microphone, you would each be taking turns and you would be speaking into the microphone. What's happening is a very rapid fire discussion, which I wish I was there in person. I would love to be participating with you guys sitting around the table, but you all are queuing into each other, talking over each other, talking very quickly. It's very hard for me to even know who's speaking. So could we just kind of slow it down a little bit where each person is taking a turn and clearly identifying themselves? And that way can't speak for Michelle, but she may also be having trouble equally participating. But could we please do that? Because I'm really having a hard time with the participation in this meeting today.
And then one of the things I do want to point out that Nick Zubel is on the call from the Emergency Operations Department. So I know that he was scheduled to present.
Okay, thanks Todd for that. We just don't see him on here, so I didn't notice he was.
I'm on the call right
Okay.
now. I'm
Yeah,
here.
no, sorry, Nick, you just said something. We missed you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Nick, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize the time, so we probably put you over and let you listen to a whole bunch of internal. But Nick, happy to have you here. Please take it away.
Oh, thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. Sorry I'm not there in person. I had some other meetings, conflicts. But I don't have a formal presentation. I just wanted to, circling back from our December meeting, we have an emergency operations plan, public workshop coming up next week, Thursday, January 29th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It'll be through Zoom. And I will include the registration information in the chat, but we really would appreciate your participation in that meeting. We'll be going over the feedback we received during the public comment period and how feedback can help shape the plan update. That's my just wanted to plug that upcoming meeting. Thank you for your time.
We waited 22 minutes.
I know.
Um, all right. This is Carolyn. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Todd, this is Carolyn. If you could actually email that link out in the event that when this closes, those of us who are not online can't get access to Nick's link, but I know I will be there. So I'm looking forward to it.
And then I did not know if you all wanted to share your input while you have Nick's presence, your input on the emergency operations plan,
Not at this
documents
time.
that you had.
Sue?
Todd,
No, I think we need to have a, this is Sue. I think we need to have a separate meeting about that, and have an agenda item. And more like a conversation. That's my opinion.
Just,
Michelle, I think I heard you.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead. All right, Nick, it's you. Karen.
Okay. Sorry. I'm stop.
no, all I was
Michelle,
going to ask is, Nick, for me, I can't do the registration. So I was just going to ask for a direct link I can give you my phone number, whatever I need to get it as a direct link. That's all I was asking because I cannot input the registration.
Michelle, I will send you the link via text.
All right. A direct link is perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. And just to follow up, going into March, we will do a final draft public comment period. So that'll be another opportunity to review the plan to see how the feedback was integrated. And I think at that point, that'll be a good opportunity to then bring this back to the committee for discussion.
Yeah, March. Nick, I appreciate you.
Likewise.
And okay. If you don't have anything else, you can stay and listen to us, or you can go on your merry way and have a great day.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. Okay, are we going to review bylaws?
Be better to do that. So
Well, we don't have these two folks here. Okay, so this is Carolyn. I think we should actually table reviewing the bylaws because we don't have the two new folks here. And it's counterproductive, not counterproductive, but we could say a couple things, but it's less productive and then kind of a waste of time. And we still have a gentleman here that we will open up public comment once we're done with our business. So make a motion to table these bylaws.
Laura Hansel here. I make a motion to table our discussion on bylaws until our next meeting.
I second, Jeanette.
Okay, all those in favor. So Michelle,
Yes.
Jessica,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
myself, yes. All right. Motion passed. Thank you very much. We're going to head to new business.
This is Jeanette, can I suggest that we pick one of the 4 topics for February to
Yes.
discuss while we're all here?
Yes. All right. On the table, 1 to 4. Probably the easiest way, maybe democratically. Each of you say which one you want to discuss, and whatever the majority comes out, that's going to be the fairest way to do it. So, Michelle, for next meeting, which of the 4 strategic focus areas did you want to talk, or not you, but as a whole, do you want the committee to talk about?
Right, I'm fairly flexible. It's housing, transportation, emergency. To read them just quickly to me.
Emergency evacuation stuff, and then behavioral health stuff.
Yeah, I guess for me it would be transportation.
Okay, Jessica. You're on mute.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know. Come back to me.
Jeanette.
Transportation, unless anybody sees a need to continue discussing the housing, if there's anything that we should follow up with that.
Laura, I'm gonna vote for transportation because I think it's easier and I think there's probably way more to discuss on housing and behavioral health. So I actually think transportation. There you go.
Sue.
I'll support that. I think transportation. And then March, we know it's gonna be emergency services because Nick is coming back.
Yep.
So can you maybe prepare, Laura, your comments about the plan that we
For
for the
Yeah.
March, for the March?
Well, for February to be discussed in February in preparation for March in case there's change.
Yeah, so if you have time after transportation dialogue, then you can sort of fit that in and do a highlight. Yeah, does that work? I'm gonna abstain because no point. I know you're all saying it, but I know you're sad.
Lucius.
Okay, so
Jessica, go back to Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah, I'll support transportation for ease. I hope we're not finished with housing, and I would like to address housing sooner than later because there is a particular issue with households having had their emergency housing vouchers terminated and the county not, sorry, Lucius is responding to me. One sec. Hold. Sorry, one sec. Anyway, I'll come back. Thank you.
Okay.
Don't need you
so
guys
transportation is
at me.
okay. Then of course you guys know that for March. You guys are going to talk emergency services. Do we have any other future agenda items?
Just to note, your email is on the screen.
See all this cool stuff. Let's see his Amazon purchases or something.
Credit card there?
Yeah, credit card there.
Do we have Jessica and Michelle? Or is it
Or,
just are they on the call?
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if they're
Oh, okay. Future agenda item. The only future agenda that I will add is that I was stopped by Mr. Joel Anderson on my way up to this meeting. And it was a lovely discussion. He's incredibly upset, and so he has potentially talked me into, after I have a couple surgeries done, I will be appointed to another board.
nice.
So hopefully I can work in collaboration with you folks. But it'll be a very exciting opportunity. And not that I wouldn't love to continue with you guys, but you know, after X amount of years, I tell everybody you need to hop skip to the next board and get your experience there. So I will be around, probably in this building, and hopefully I get to work with everybody in some capacity, because you guys have all been fantastic. And other than that, if we don't have anything else, I'm gonna let this gentleman talk.
We do have this item here is there for the committee to discuss what has been presented in public comment. One of those items was free parking, as well as discounted Sentry services for cross-border transportation.
All right, do we have any input on that?
Mr. Padilla,
Ah,
this is your time.
oh, this is you. Yeah, sorry, my
This
my
is all,
application wears off after 4 years.
this is all new to me. I'm a new frontier here. I'm trying to push an issue. I have nobody. I don't know anyone. I'm trying to give it to legislation. My legislation is the fourth. So I have experience of having written to people, leadership of the legislation, and I get decided denial. I don't hear anything. I call up 2 or 3 months. They tell me, when did you receive it? When did you give it? Nobody identifies with it. And this is at all levels. It's the city, at the county, at the state, at the federal, which is really sad. So I'm trying to make an issue here. I just am looking for, one, is it feasible? And number two, a lead? Who can I go to who can be a spearhead and can tell me these are the recommendations, these are the leads, these are the places you want to talk to. I don't. I'm on my own. I'm carrying a flag, and I'm on a hill, and I'm just seeing a great valley, but I don't know who to go to. I don't know how to start it. I don't know how to, make the web. I feel very powerless as an individual, but have you read my proposal?
Yes.
I just need an answer. Is it feasible?
Well, that's not something that we can answer.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's what I would say is that,
Who can I go to?
so, when you send emails to your elected officials, are you sending it to, say, for example, Joel Anderson, or are you sending it to staff?
No, I'm sending it directly to the fourth, and I forgot her name, Montgomery.
So maybe my recommendation to you is to send to staff. So, and we can go offline, when we're done with this and show you, like, the staff info and whatnot, because the staff, I think they are mandated to at least give you a reply.
Right.
Right.
The burden's on me to follow them, to chase them, to ask them.
Right, but then in what I do, especially in advocacy, when nobody's chatting,
Exactly.
they think they're not gonna chat with me, is I add in a news or an advocacy group.
And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm trying to find.
You have a ton here, you really do,
So I just need, my recommendation, it's just one of you, take the liberty, you have my phone number, I'd be more than happy to meet you during your lunch hour. As an individual, not as a board member.
So anybody hearing that can totally reach out and do that to you, but this is an advisory board to the board of supervisors.
Exactly.
So what we would do is, give you the resource of who to contact.
That's what I'm-
Right, and that's something that we can email you,
Okay.
and there's visibility on our emails because it's who we attach inside of the emails, like, are we attaching Stephens, are we attaching, you know, those people,
Yeah,
so,
I just wanna walk away empowered,
okay.
knowing that, hey, I got enthusiasm, I do not wanna do this alone.
So Chair, Laura here, I don't know, Michelle, if you're on the call, if you could be some sort of liaison for this discussion. I just want to throw that out here. I also want to thank you, Mr. Padilla, for bringing this to us, and he's put together a proposal, and we've all received it, mid-January, maybe January 12th, around that date. I will say that I did some research on this myself. I actually think there's really complicated legal questions here, because you have federal, state, and local.
My focus is the county right now.
But I'm not even sure what the county could do because of the jurisdictional issue. So for me, that's such a big legal question that I'm
You
kind of
it's not,
stuck.
I give it, I'm a paralegal,
I wonder if you should talk to county council.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
but at the same time, I work for the sheriff department, not in a paralegal capacity, I have a certificate, it's just that I work on disability, and that just threw me all the way around. So this is something that I experienced as I wrote in my first letter. And so I just don't want to spin my web and fall flat in my face and say, I got nowhere super fast.
And it's the government, so you're gonna do that, because everybody here has gone through that.
Exactly.
But I'm not recommending, I think you should loop in county council.
Okay, and therefore, if somebody can email me, because I don't know, what the next step is gonna be.
So as individuals, if you get emails from any of the individuals on this board,
Yes.
they can certainly talk to you outside of their capacity here. But I think as a whole, we can certainly, whatever that resource document that we were talking about a little bit earlier,
Exactly.
and that's something that as a board we can send to you.
Right.
And
I would recommend, if I may, Laura here, reaching out to Disability Rights California.
Yeah.
Possibly Veterans Group as well, the Paralyzed Veterans of America perhaps, but I think there's other stakeholders that you could already take the product and put together.
Stakeholders is exactly the direction that what you just mentioned right now. And so, can I give it to one person just to call me?
yeah, unfortunately, because again, we advise the board of supervisors. Right. Somebody comes in with an individual issue, our goal is to guide you to the supervisors and their staff.
Right, so I will get emails from you on what we're just talking about.
As a whole,
correct.
right, and to give you places to go, but we can't take something
Again,
from you.
I understand. It's like a court, you can't enter the dwell.
Same thing,
It's just same thing, exactly.
totally same thing.
So my request, if I just have a commitment from an individual to email and just have me on a Kickstarter.
What does that mean?
A Kickstarter is like a resource. You just mentioned the veterans. See,
Because Kickstarter is a funding application,
oh, definitely.
but we can't do that.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that I'm just trying to find not an authority, but a passionate that would say, I'm on board with you. Let's get together. Let's work, let's have coffee together. I'm just looking for somebody as an individual who has the lobbying capacity, who has the knowledge, the walk around, the insight. Oh, I know who you need to speak to. I just need leads.
So I think as a board, what we can commit to is emailing you resources and some guidance.
Yeah.
And as individuals, they're gonna have to contact you, so I can't even say you.
No, you're not gonna delegate, let alone, but that's that, I don't tell the board what to do. At the same time, I'm looking at the menu and saying, what can I order? If it's not, so this way I could just walk away and say, oh, it's gonna be delivered.
Yeah, well, I can say that we will send you an email that has resources. Because we're legally.
No, I understand, I know your parameters, I know your
Yeah.
parameters, I know it, so a lot of it is that I'm on the sideline, I'm not gonna walk in, and so. This is all new to me,
Yeah,
I've been on boards before.
yeah,
And so I'm just ringing the bell
yeah,
by this passionate, issue that I have.
yeah.
And I just don't wanna hit a wall by saying I got super far really fast.
I will tell you, if you do hit a wall, don't let it disenfranchise you, because this board has hit many walls and it's still.
Exactly,
Right?
and if it's a wall, I have the capacity to break it down.
Yeah, so I'll commit to you that this board will send you an email with resources, and then from there, those, it's sort of on you and Michelle or,
What I got from this board is to make you say that it's a win-win, I got encouragement.
good. Yeah,
Okay,
good, that's
okay,
perfect.
because that's what I need to know.
Yeah.
If my life is that I can discourage you from going up the mountain, I'm effective.
Yeah,
But if you say no, I would say, I need to encourage you not to.
yeah. I don't think you'll have that problem with this board.
That's-
This board is full of, advocacy,
Exactly, okay,
passionate folks that
Okay.
will send you an email, and then with that email, some of this is going to be your passion that's gonna drive you
Thank
to your,
okay,
your
but
community. And again, if anybody, Jessica, Michelle, anybody here wants to individually email you, by all means, they just can't act on behalf of the board.
exactly.
Right? So anybody can advocate and team up with.
Strike that comment from the records. And that's what they do when they make something to the jury, but the jury heard it.
Okay, yeah. I'm TBI, so like. What you get.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Trust me.
But, your passion is one thing. If anybody's had time to read the document, you got it there. You
Okay.
just, you just,
Again, new territory for me, you're a resource, you're a possibility, I'm walking away encouraged because a lot of it's just hearing what the possibilities are.
I'm glad we can help. And that's at this point, that's what we can do. And, if you want to come back and.
Worth the wait.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
You got a package here. There's a package.
Yeah. That'd be so rad. Okay.
They deliver gifts to us while we're here.
So, thanks for the last couple of years of allowing me to lead you. It's been fantastic. I loved it. Gonna go do a few surgeries and get a few surgeries out of the way, and go back to Europe for a little bit. And then I am currently going to be tasked on a new board. And I didn't know that until today. So Todd, don't think I was doing it behind your back. I swear to God. But all the luck to all of you, and keep moving forward with all the awesome stuff we've been able to accomplish. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of your incredibly hard work.
Thank you.
And we hope you still like stop in and give
Oh,
opinions.
I told you.
Give opinions, input.
Laura, text me.
Katie, Katie, if you have those items there.
Oh, look at you. Awesome. You.
That's so nice.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, don't touch his arm, but thank you very much for that. Thank you. So.
I feel like I should go,
You also have a certificate of.
Yay.
Oh, you're still here, but thank you.
No.
Completion of term 1.
Yes,
No, it's lovely.
it's lovely. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. So. So again, last rule of chair is everybody have a fantastic January, and I will see you sometime in the future. God bless. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you,
Thanks,
Todd.
everyone.
Appreciate you. Stay